What's up, y'all? It's your girl NiaOlivia, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Y'all, we got a juicy video today, okay? Now, before we get into it, I do have a friend with me. This is my friend Chelle. She is also an entrepreneur. All of her information will be linked below. So, Chelle, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
I have a boutique that's called Jack Boutiques, and I also help out people start their online small businesses with their LLC.
Okay, so get at her. All right, y'all, so today's topic is so interesting. Today, we are going to be talking about our online dating experiences and tips. So if you want to hear more, make sure you stay tuned in. Let's get into it. Y'all, so in this video, again, we're talking about our online experiences, and we're going to also give you all some tips so you can be better with online dating. Now, I might be looking down at my phone, but it's just because I want to make sure we cover everything and I have my notes. So the first thing we're going to kind of discuss is our overall opinion of online dating. I feel like we see a lot of videos and you hear a lot of people talking about online dating. So let us just tell you our perspectives of online dating. So Chelle, I'm gonna let you kick this off.
Well, you guys, I don't mind online dating because I'm a big introvert and I have a lot of things going on. So sometimes if I just want a little adult conversation, I will go on to online dating sites and see what's out there and see who's available. I had some good and bad experiences, but there's nothing wrong with putting yourself out there if you're an introvert with starting online dating, because not everybody is comfortable with approaching people in public.
Yes, I definitely agree with her. I'm not necessarily an introvert, but I also like online dating, especially because of COVID right now. So basically, if I'm just out and about and I'm walking around with my mask on, it's kind of difficult to make a connection with someone. And if a guy is just like approaching me, I'm sorry, y'all, but I can't see his teeth, his nose, just this whole bottom part of his face. And I need to see those things before I can decide like if I would be attracted to him or not. So for me, due to COVID, online dating has definitely been a good option. The other thing with the online dating is you get to actually choose the people.
Yes.
As opposed to when I'm out and about and this guy's approaching me, that guy's approaching me, they're not the guys that I would necessarily want. So with online dating, you have that opportunity to actually like filter out like, I like this or I don't like that. So that's the reason why I think that online dating can actually be a good option during dating. But you do have to understand that the same as just a regular going out on a date, there are going to be great guys online and there are going to be duds online. So you have to be able to kind of use your common sense to figure out who you should actually give your time to. All right, y'all. So the next thing we're gonna kind of discuss is some of our personal experiences with online dating. And y'all, we have both had some good experiences and some not so good experiences. I don't want to say bad. I'm just gonna say not so good, just a tad bit negative.
Not pleasant.
Yeah, not pleasant. So okay, I'll kick this one off. One of the things that I notice with online is, okay, you see a person's profile pictures and then you might have the opportunity to then video chat with them. So then when you actually video chat with the person, that person may not be the same person that was in those actual pictures. And so for me, I try to be really nice about it. Like I had it happen with a guy and I was looking at his photos. He looked like somebody who kind of like, worked out and everything. And then when we did the video chat, he was about 40 pounds heavier. And I was like, there was nothing wrong with his size, but that wasn't the size that I thought that he actually was. And he even said when we got into like the chat, he was like, I know I'm a little bit larger than I was in the pictures. Well, no, sir. You don't post those pictures. If you have changed, you don't post those pictures, okay? Because that's giving me the wrong perception of who he really was. And so when I saw him, I was disappointed and I wasn't attracted to him anymore. So for me, I think that's been the thing is like people kind of matching up to what their actual pictures are. The other thing is, let's be honest, there are a lot of guys and women who are just online to have hookups.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, they're just trying to hit it, quit it, and keep it moving. So that's the other thing is guys that have been like really pushy, like overly sexual and stuff. And it's like, why do you want to talk about that? Like, I don't want to just, that's not what I'm here for. But what about you, girl? I'm sorry, I was going in, y'all. Okay, tell me more.
Well, I had some crazy experiences.
Tell us, girl, tell us.
We went to a restaurant, and he was telling the waiter to continue to feed me because I was too small. So the waiter's looking at him like, are you serious? And he's like, she needs more food so she can put meat on her bones.
Like, y'all, nobody should be commenting on someone's weight at a date. That's just inappropriate. Okay.
And it's the first date.
It's the first date. That's wrong.
And I had to hold my composure because I was just like, this little is talking about me. I can say a few things about you at this moment. But that was one of my first experience. So I thought I learned my lesson. And I guess I did not.
That's why with online dating, you have to continue to do it because you're going to run into some toes, y'all.
Yes. You get some toes, some beetles.
Okay.
And you become frustrated sometimes because you don't feel like it. Okay, so I was talking to a guy and we would FaceTime and we would text and I was like, I don't really know if I'm interested in him that much because his personality didn't click with me, but I'm trying to really focus on not someone's physical appearance, but more of, what they can offer, what can they bring to the table that we can become equally yoked. So I continued to talk to him and try to get to know him. And then one day he was like, I've been talking to you for 6 months and we haven't met in person. And because intentionally, I'm like, I wasn't into him that way, so I didn't realize it was that long. So I'm like, ooh, I guess I can meet you.
Yeah. And guys, hold on. Let's pause on that because typically you want to meet the person sooner than that. Right?
Yes.
You want to meet the person within the first 2 weeks. Okay.
If it gets to the 6 months point, you're not interested. Let them go. That is now your pen pal.
Yeah. It is.
It's now your pen pal. Just tell them and be honest with them that you're not interested. People invest a lot of time with you when you're online dating. So just be upfront because 6 months went by and my intentions were not clear with him. And I kind of settled because I felt bad that he invested 6 months into me.
Talking to you.
So we met up and I seen him from a distance and I tried to hide.
Oh no. Ooh, I'm glad now. I haven't had one like that. Golly, not hide.
I seen him from a distance and I try to hide, you guys. Like, hide. But I had got caught because I moved too fast. And he seen me, and he just started walking towards me. But, okay, let me tell you why I hide. Do not judge me. Do not judge.
No judgment zone here, y'all. No judgment zone.
When we FaceTime, we never seen a full body. So I seen him from chest up, and it was the type of guy. I like my guys a little thick, a little chubby. As my friends would say, I'm a chubby chaser. So I didn't mind him being a little thick, but half his body was a thick, and the other half was loose. And when I say loose, he was really, I'm telling you, I know she said 40 pounds, but I'm telling you, there was an extra 100 pounds down there. And I was like, no way. Like, how did I get catfished? So I tried to hide. It didn't work. But I will say that I kind of ghosted him after that. Shame on me.
No, do not ghost people. So guys, here's the thing. Well, I don't know. Because online, I guess you can, but once you guys like exchange numbers, and maybe even if you guys went out, I feel like at this time, you should be able to just tell someone, I'm not interested in you, like I got stuff going on with my life, anything, but just let them know. Because when people ghost people, it's kind of like, wait, what happened? Like you start running down all these different things in your mind, trying to figure out why this person isn't like communicating with you or something. I just think it's important to kind of like say something to someone, you know?
And I guess it is respectful in that sense that she put it like that because he invested 6 months, but in me mentally, I didn't invest that time.
Right.
So, we have to be conscious of other people's feelings when we're doing it.
And how you want to be treated. How do you want someone to treat you? Because if it was someone that you were interested in and then that happened, it would be like, ooh. So, yeah.
So, we're not perfect. We live to learn. So, I know now that after a couple of months, if I'm not interested, just say like, hey, it's not going to work out. You've been a pleasure to get to know, and I wish you luck on this app.
Yes. And okay, so we kind of talked about some of the negative experiences, but let's talk about some of the good ones. So years ago, this is back when like Tinder and everything was going on. I'm talking about 4 or 5 years ago or more. There was a period of time where I was online. So I usually would do online for some months and then I won't do it anymore. And then I may come back a year later or something like that. So in this instance, I met a guy online and we actually met up and everything. We had been talking, we had a good conversation, and we ended up getting into a relationship. I think our relationship lasted for about 8 months. Oh. So for me, that was something successful from online. Now, no, he didn't end up being my king or my husband, but I did learn things from that experience with him. And it was nice because we would always go out on dates. Like, he had a lot of great qualities. He just wasn't the person that was actually for me. So I feel like when you are making the decision to date online, you have to understand you got to build a team, okay? You don't want to put all your eggs in one barrel and be focusing on this one man or this one woman. Talk to several people, go out with several people. That way you can kind of weed through those people to see what you really want, what you really like. You know, experience some new restaurants. That's always nice. Like, make it benefit you, basically.
Yeah. And that's a great tip for in person as well.
Yes.
You know,
and same thing for when you're meeting people out regularly. Meet several people.
Yes.
Like, I think so many times we meet a person and we feel like, oh, they've got these great qualities. Now I'm ready to just invest everything in them. No, it's not the time. They haven't even necessarily showed you through action.
Yes.
It's all about action, guys. It's not about what a man or a woman is saying to you. It's about what they are actually showing you. Okay? And the whole premise of dating is to date multiple people.
Yes.
Go out with different people until you figure out what works. Okay, so now we're going to actually discuss the dating sites that we prefer. And we're going to talk about 2 of them. So, Chelle, which one are you going to talk about?
I'll do Bumble. So Bumble, what it is that you go and you can swipe right and swipe left, but you only can communicate when the woman speaks to you first, and you have a timeline to write back. I think it's within 24 hours.
And the person can do like an extension if they want to, and extend it out to another 24 hours.
Really? With that, it could have its pros and cons, because if you're not always on the app like me, you kind of miss opportunities to talk to people because the timing is going so fast. But it kind of weeds out the people who are not consistently talking to you, or people who are not actually interested. They're just looking for your looks. And find out people who have the same intentions as you.
Okay. I use Bumble as well. But I also like Hinge.
That is like...
Okay. I think I've had better success with Hinge, guys, because I don't think I've ever been on a date with anyone that I met on Bumble. I don't think so. I'm thinking back. I've definitely done some video chats, but never like actually a date. But Hinge I prefer. And I'm trying to think of why. So, I know what it is. Okay, so with Hinge, people can just like you or like make comments to you and stuff. So what I really do is I don't ever like any guys. I just wait till I rack up like a whole bunch of different likes and comments and stuff. And then I just go through them like, yay, nay. And so then you can click on it and decide if you want to actually have a conversation with that person. And that just kind of works better for me, because I feel like the man is still kind of like pursuing you, because they're letting me know that they like me first. I used Tinder in the past, but I know that with Tinder, a lot of people always say that Tinder is like a real hookup site. That was the reason why I don't like that. Plenty of Fish, I feel like the people just looked rough. I don't know if it just... I only did that for like one day, and I was like, let me hurry up and take this down, because heck no. Okay. I've never done any of those sites where you had to pay, just because I'm not willing to invest any money at this point in my dating experiences. But if that works for you, hey.
Yeah, because I had a lot of bad experiences on POF, like Plenty of Fish. I couldn't get past it. It was a lot of
dusty,
rough,
yeah,
looking people. But I do know there's a lot of military people on there.
Oh, okay.
You know, but it could be the area that you're in as well.
Yeah.
But where I was, there was a lot of military people on there. It was like military or dusty.
Okay.
Like, I didn't really have a good option of people.
Right.
But like she said, I found good people on Hinge more than I find on Bumble and Tinder and things like that. But me too, I'm not really consistent on there.
Right.
I might swipe through. It could be like usually when I'm bored.
And you have the ability, so the one thing I really like is that you can pause your accounts. So you can hit pause on your account so then people can't see you anymore, and then you can come back. So it's not like you're going back in and you're recreating a whole nother profile again. It's just you're pausing it and you're taking some time off. And that's kind of like a good option to have.
Yes.
With the All right, y'all. So the next thing that we are going to discuss are our actual tips for when you are online dating. So the first thing we want to start off with is talking about vetting the person before you decide to go out on a date with them. Chelle already touched on this. It's important to video chat. It's important to see full body pics of the person.
Full body pics. And you want to make sure it's current body pictures because people will show you their glory days.
Yes.
I've seen men show, when their body was nice and tight.
When they had a six-pack and they don't
when
have
they played football in college and they haven't played for like 10 years. So let's go ahead and get those pictures right now.
The other thing that I think is good is when you video chat with someone, you also get to see their background. Which is important to see what the surroundings are. Where are they? Because I'm always looking around kind of like, okay, that is...
I'm very detail oriented. So I'm going to look to see if your bed is on your floor, if your dirty clothes are not in the dirty clothes basket. Do you have curtains or do you have sheets up?
Yes.
How clean is your house when you're walking around? Are there dishes in your sink that haven't been washed in days? I'm paying attention to everything because I know how I like my house. I know how I want a nice, clean, presentable person.
And that's indicative of who the person actually is.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that goes for men and women. Like, that's either way. You want to see what a person has going on. Same thing, I hear a lot of guys say that women have pictures that are older or women have pictures with filters. I'm not going to lie. I do like Snapchat, so I have some photos with filters, but I have made a conscious decision that too on my profiles, like, let me try to have a picture in here that doesn't have a filter so that I could actually show the person. But again, I'm willing to video chat fairly quickly so you can kind of already see who I am. All right, y'all. So the next thing we're going to discuss are some first date tips. Yes, okay. So the number one thing I think is you need to go into your first date with a positive attitude, but you don't need to have your expectations. How do I say this? Like, go into this date to meet a new person. Don't go in this date thinking this is my soulmate, this is my husband, this is the one. This is my husband or wife, this is the one, okay? Because then you're gonna end up being disappointed. Like, go into this with a happy attitude. Hey, I'm getting to go out to eat with someone I've never been out with before. I'm gonna get to talk to them, get to know them. I think you brought up a point about the interview.
Do not have a list of questions that you want to ask this person. You want the conversation to flow. You want to really get to know the person. If you have a list of things, you're not really listening to their answer. Like if I say, oh, tell me what you do in your free time. And someone says, oh, I really like to play basketball and I like to work out. And you're like, oh, that's really cool. So what is your favorite? You're not really getting into the person.
Yeah.
You just listen off the questions. Get into it. What do you like to work out?
Right.
Where do you work out? Are you really into nutrition? What is your diet? Get to know that person.
Right.
You do not want to have a list because people are going to catch on to that and your conversation becomes choppy.
Yeah, it does. The other thing is to put your best foot forward for your first date. Like, we need to make sure we're looking really nice on this date, guys. I mean, don't just come, oh, I'm running from somewhere else and now I'm here. Like, make sure that you are definitely looking good for this date, smelling good, your breath is fresh. My goodness, like that is
Yes.
That's a big thing. Make sure you don't have anything in your nose or anything like that. I'm sorry, but we have to say these things. Like, just make sure that you're together. And then after your first date, you want to see, like, I know for women, we're kind of more so wanting to be contacted by the man after the first date. For me personally, you better hit me up, okay? If you don't hit me up, we probably won't be talking because no. So ladies, if you go on a date with a guy, please do not call him after the date. Please do not text him after the date and ask him, what did he think of the date? How was it? That's too much. That just seems so desperate on a woman's part. Let him, reach out to you.
Yes. I know I had one guy that I went out with and after the date, I usually just go home.
Yeah.
And he's like, text me when you get home. That showed me like, okay, he's a little interested in me because he wants me to reach out to him. So if he's asking you to do something like that, there's nothing wrong with that part.
Right.
But you're not going to go home and be like, oh, I'm thinking about you. Oh, how was the date? No. You let it go.
Yeah.
Because if he's interested, he'll continue to contact you. Now, if something happened on a date that you felt uncomfortable with and you probably want to discuss it, then I would say it wouldn't be such a bad idea. But you don't want to go straight forward like that night or the very next day. Give it some time to really see where his mindset is.
The other thing we wanted to discuss is, y'all, use your common sense when you are online dating. I hear a lot of people giving advice about online dating and saying, oh, don't do online dating because of this, that, and the third. Oh, I've had all these terrible experiences. Guys, use your common sense when you're meeting people and figure out where a person is really coming from. Like, in your mind, you know when some stuff doesn't make sense. You know when someone has told you one thing, but then they're showing you something else. You need to notice those things. Like, we need to stop passing up red flags. And this is applicable to when you're just meeting a person in person, okay, that you met at the grocery store or the gas station or church or wherever it is that you meet people. Use your common sense. Okay?
Because the first thing you think about online dating is very similar to in-person dating. Because when you're going to when you're out and about and you're meeting people, you don't have time to ask them all these questions.
Right.
When you're meeting them online, you have time to vet them, which you have time to
see
ask
their
them questions,
interests, right.
see their interests, and do these things. And then you have a date. But if you're meeting in person, you're just getting a number and then you continue and you're trying to talk to them, you're trying to get to know them. But you have all those opportunities on online dating before,
So use that time.
Yes.
Use that time to try to get as much information out of that person as possible. Another thing is with online dating, please do not have someone pick you up at your house, okay? I mean, my goodness. Again, this is back to common sense, guys. Like, you don't have a stranger pick you up at your house, okay? You need to meet that person at a place where there are going to be lots of other people, but still where you guys can find an area to be able to actually really talk, to really just communicate with each other. But you do not need to tell this person exactly where you live. Like, sometimes I know I'll message with guys and they're like, oh, what area are you in? Y'all, I'm not telling them what area I'm in. I'm telling them an area that's about 2 areas away from the area that I'm in. Because I don't even know who this person really is yet. So,
another thing I would say is movie dates. First movie dates, that's a no.
Right.
You don't. How can you get to know someone watching a movie? You're not talking, you're just watching a movie. Now, I'm going to say if you're doing a movie and then dinner, because that gives you something to talk about, that gives you something to bring up. But if you guys are just meeting at the movie theater and then leaving.
Sitting in the dark with someone, well, now I don't even know if we can really, I mean, the movies are just starting to open back up now. But yeah, that definitely, I don't want to sit in the dark with you, like, and then there's no conversation. This is another one. Do not go. Oh my gosh, I was just about to say it. Do not go to their house, y'all. Oh my goodness, no. Okay, woo! I made this mistake, y'all. Do not go to their home. If someone is trying to invite you to their house, you already know what it is. They are trying to Netflix and chill you. Chill you, okay? They're trying to put it on ice, honey. So do not go. Like, just tell them absolutely no. I don't care what they say. I don't care if he has a nice house. He showed me some pictures. He said we were just gonna such and such. He said he doesn't want to go out because of COVID. Okay, well then, boo, we finna do these video chats all the time. You can meet me at a park, can't you? All right? There are so many other places you can go besides a person's house.
Yes. Do not stop. Hit go. Meet you at your house and we can go somewhere else.
And
nothing.
Y'all, okay, so I had this experience one time where I had like a really good date with someone, right? And then they didn't live that far away from where the date was, but it was like the conversation was just like flowing. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, well, do you want to come over like afterwards? And I'm like, well, now that I've had all these drinks and I'm feeling so good, I'm like, maybe. Like, we just gonna go to the house and chill. Don't do it. Don't do it. Their intentions are not good. Don't even put yourself in that predicament where now you're in someone else's territory and you've got to be like, no, or you've got to hurry up and get out of there real fast. Like, just don't do it.
Yes, I never do dates at people's houses. I always drive myself no matter
Always drive yourself.
Even if it's a first date or, a couple of dates after, because I just feel more comfortable because you never know who a person is. A person can pretend to be someone for at least 6 months before they show their true character. So after 6 months, then maybe I can feel more comfortable getting into your car and traveling places. But I never know who you are, and I don't know what you have going on around you. So for my own safety, I travel by myself.
Yes.
And I always let someone know where I am.
Yes.
I show my friends pictures. I show my friends where I'm going and if I'm leaving. When I'm driving in the car, I call my friends so that they know when I arrive and when the person arrives. Just so people can have a sense of my own safety. I never try to hide what I'm doing because that puts me in danger, and then no one will be able to find me if something happens, because this world is very crazy. So you want to alert people of who you're with and where you're going at all times.
Woo, I definitely agree. Y'all, thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope that you were able to get some tips from this, kind of learn from the experiences that we've had. Make sure you comment below. Let us know, what have been your online experiences? It could be a good experience, it could be a not so good experience, but please share it, because when people share their experiences, it helps other people to learn.
Don't hold out, you guys, because we want to know these.
Yes, please. Remember, all of our social media will be linked below, and please hit that subscribe button so a sister can get her subscriber count up, okay? Thank you so much, Chelle. Again, y'all, make sure you comment below. We want to hear about those dating experiences, and I hope you have a wonderful and a blessed day.